But let's jump into it now. For those unfamiliar with you or the
Mm-hmm.
FDM, just tell us a bit about yourself and your background and your party's overall view from this seat of the chair.
So yeah, like you said, my name, Omar Dill. I am currently the chairperson of the Free Democratic Movement. More personally, I am, as you mentioned, I work for him. In the past, I've been a fireman. I have been a air traffic controller. I've worked with children with autism. I've worked at Child and Family Services. So my career spans various disciplines, but one thing that it has in common with everything else is people. I really enjoy working with people. I enjoy talking with people. I enjoy helping people, right? It's something that I believe has a benefit as an individual. Like I believe the more you help people, I think they say it releases what beta endorphins.
Mm.
So I've lived in Bermuda my whole life. I went to university, got a degree, sociology and psychology, bachelor's degree, and I enjoy running. I'm in the Front Street Mile tomorrow, so come check
Right.
me. Yeah, I like football. I've boxed in the past. I think I have maybe 4 or 5 fights. So I'm pretty versatile. I like to do a little bit of everything. I like to start in the back of the class. Is what I like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What motivated you? What inspired you to want to actually get politically involved and especially taking on the role of the chairman for a political entity?
I would say it's my country, right? And most people will agree, almost everybody you speak to anywhere, we're not happy with how things are going in the country today. And it's really as simple as that. So I can either, maybe vote every 4 or 5 years and try and do my best to make my mark there. I can help in the charity space, which there's a lot of great charities, or I can take a more direct approach. So, I chose to take that approach. So in maybe 20, 30 years, I can say, well, I've done my best. So that's what really propelled me to join the political space is just seeking a better way, seeking some change in the art.
And what as chair of the FDM, what kind of challenges have you faced so far? And what made you want to take on that role within the party?
I would say my peers, when I say my peers, I mean those within the FDM. It was what you call it, a vote of acclamation,
Mhm.
where I was almost the natural choice. Again, I enjoy people. In taking this role, a big piece of it was ensuring that I do have a team around me. So as you can imagine, right now I'm in 17 different group chats, but they're all pinging off without me. So I really do appreciate that we have a team that's able to get things done and accomplish certain tasks. So it's just me, kind of smoothing over everything and making sure everybody is communicating the way that they should.
Indeed.
So there's a public narrative that the FDM was present during the last election,
Mhm.
2020, and then
Yes,
disappeared after the election.
yes.
What do you have to say to that?
The 2020 election, as we all know, was called during COVID. It was a bit of a surprise for most people. The FDM fielded, I'm not sure the exact number of candidates, but the people made their choice in what they wanted. I believe the opposition would have been the OBA, and the PLP took a large majority, 30 to 6. So that would be what we call the will of the people. That the people would have spoken to say this is what we want for our country, from a parliamentary point of view. From on the scene of politics, yeah, the FDM was not there, but that was because what the people wanted at that time. From under the surface, however, I mean, again, I'm here right now. Others are also here, and we have been doing things, I would say, more quietly. We've had plenty of events, plenty of smaller, more community-based things that would have touched little small segments of society, but nothing on the in the newspaper. And I would say politics is not all where it was at. Politics is not all what you see on the front lines. So that's what I would say to those people. But what I would also say is we're here now.
Mhm.
We have been very active. We've released policies. As you might have known, I wrote a letter to the governor. That's something that has, to my knowledge, never been done politically. Just seeking to really push for the change that needs to happen and not being passive as politics as usual. And I think when we speak about independence and things like that, those are the reasons why they believe they have a place.
Mm-hmm.
Is the FDM prepared to announce 36 candidates come January 31st, nomination day?
What I would say, we're very much looking forward to the January 31st, and I look forward to giving you that answer. I would say our focus is not just on releasing candidates, but making sure that we're an actual option to govern the country.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes, policy, what we say, which again, going back to whether it's the independents, whether it's the OBA or the PLP, the individuals, they do matter. They should have integrity and things like that. But what ideologies will these individuals stand on when called to make decisions? So we are seeking to be transparent with that. So you know for a fact, the FDM wants to do this with the economy. They want to do that with education. They want to do this with housing. And then as a voter, you can make an informed decision to say these groups of people or this person or this party is going to represent me. So January 31st, yeah, you'll definitely find out exactly what we have. It's a lot of strategy that goes into politics. We want to measure 3 times, so to speak, and cut once.
I'm intrigued.
So that was a yes. We had 36 people of those of that caliber, or sure, or get back to me.
So as the chairperson, let me say this: I will be a candidate come January 31st. So I will lead from the front, and I will make the first announcement on the Daily Hour that I will be a candidate in the current election, the currently called election.
Okay.
Well, that's it. That's good, because Tiffany Painter says, Omar is on today. Nice. After you run the mile, please run in this election and announce your candidacy. Well, he just announced his candidacy, folks.
Yes.
Sancha just made him announce his candidacy here on the Daily Hour.
What are the top 3 issues the FDM party plan to address in this upcoming election?
So, I mean, it's great that you asked that. 3 is a great number. We have a couple more issues than 3 in the island, but we released our housing policy in November. That is a top 3 issue for us. We released our education policy in July. Again, top 3 issue. And yesterday we released our economic policy, top 3 issue. There's other 3 top issues I believe that most Bermudians, if not all Bermudians, have a vested interest in. And I can continue. I would say we have 7 main issues on the island that the FDM seeks to address, inclusive of energy / the environment, immigration, it's a huge ticket item, healthcare, and many, many social issues. So there's 7 for you, but there's the top 3: housing, education, and the economy.
So how does the party plan to engage young voters and encourage them to participate in this political process?
So
I'm sure you've seen what's happened. The elections being called, everyone's overseas, or young students are overseas, and it's been a huge flashback. Like, why would we do this now? Right. How do we encourage them to come out?
I want people to really pay attention to some of the things that are going on, but also some of the things that we've been seeing. So let's go back to, I think it's the end of May. We released some material about absentee voting. We were advocating for absentee voting now almost 10 months ago, right? Silence, nothing. So this is an issue that is important to us. I would say the FDM was created with the youth in mind. And I say that from a point of view of not just youth who are eligible to vote today, but for the future. You said you have a child, Maddox, I believe you said his name was. I have a child, right? So these things are important to me. I am here so I can say for my son in 10 years and 15 years, hey, either I was successful and I changed the country and things are better, or I tried my best. So the youth are everything to a country. So again, our first policy that came out for this election cycle was education. Nothing more important than education. Since that policy has come out, there's been a lot of reports of the education system falling apart, from the teachers, from parents, et cetera, et cetera. So the youth are paramount in everything that we do.